crew of the excellent show on the Discovery Channel called The Deadliest Catch, going into season 4. And right now I'm joined by two of the stars of the show, Sig and Edgar Hansen. Thanks a lot, you guys, for being here.
All right, Mark.
So you guys just started fishing because you're fourth-generation fishermen from your family. Did you guys ever have any idea that this show would be the blockbuster that it is?
No way. Well, we only did it the first year, and we thought that would be it.
Yeah.
So, and then now it's just snowballing, you know?
Yeah.
It's our #1 show.
Yeah, I mean, the ratings are doing extremely well. It's got to be good for you guys financially. Take me back to the very beginning. Edgar, how did this thing all get started?
Oh, boy, as far as the filming?
Yeah.
Well, I think Original Productions was up there doing, Tom Beers was up doing a documentary on, I don't know what he started with, what he was looking for, but...
Well, he had taken a trip out of one of the boats, and and then they kind of just walked the docks here in Seattle. And
but he was in Dutch Harbor and heard all these stories about crab fishing and saw the fighting and all the money being made, and he's like, man, I got to get a camera on one of these boats. And he did, and sure enough, he made a success out of it.
Yeah. What was it like? I mean, what was the response like from the industry? Were they giving you guys a lot of razz in terms of Hollywood guys trying to come up here into Alaska? What was that?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you got to remember it's a real small town up there. It's just a little island, and so everybody was paranoid about it, and I don't blame them. But in the end, I think it's a good thing for the industry. Everybody's the price of crab is stable and all that. So it's done a lot of good for our industry. Yeah. I mean, it's even brought the Coast Guard and the fishermen closer together. It's been good all the way around.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And when you guys started, take me back when you first started fishing. You were how old?
I was 14 when I started. Yeah. So, I mean, well, I'd fish for salmon in the summer times. You know, you leave school early and then jump off the boat when that season was done, and then I'd fish for crab, or if we went to Norway, I'd fish for mackerel or cod.
Wow. And Edgar, how old were you when you first started fishing?
17, just before I never got my high school education. But I was making so much money back then, we figured just eliminate the middleman. Why go to college if you're already, making a living?
You got to pass high school first to go to college.
Yeah, exactly.
But this thing, in all seriousness, this has been very lucrative for you guys. Are you guys the exception or the rule? I mean, the amount of money that you guys have made.
I mean, as far as fishing, or what?
Yeah, you guys have been very successful fishermen. You've made a lot of money over the years. Are you guys, just an average in terms of the fishermen, or do you stand out in terms of how much money you guys have made?
I think for the most part, we're usually average or above average. But you got to remember too, it's a lot of times. I mean, we've been out there for a month and didn't make a dime. And then we've gone out there for 80 hours and done $500,000. So, but we've been on top. Not everybody gets to be #1 every time, But I think for the most part, we've done pretty well.
Give us an idea of when you're standing on the deck out there and the waves are, how high do they get? Oh,
we've seen over 40, 50, 60 foot. Yeah.
Wow. So give the person who's never done that, is there any way to describe what that's like? I mean, obviously, if the first time you do it, you've got to be extremely scared.
Yeah, imagine maybe a 4 or 5 story building coming at you, full speed. It's just, it'll hit you like a freight train.
Yeah. What's the most dangerous thing when you're out on the deck in terms of what you have to watch out for?
Pretty much everything. Everything's coming at you. It's just building up a tolerance, keeping, eyes in the back of your head. But waves in general, waves maybe slapping a pot loose and coming at you, or...
Plus, he's always got to keep the guys on their toes. I mean, Edgar's more or less the deck boss, so I rely on him. He's responsible for everybody out there and keeping everybody safe.
Yeah. So. Yeah. In terms of safety, what do you guys do in terms of, we saw a tragedy up in Alaska this year, the Alaska Ranger. What do you guys do in terms of safety to be prepared for?
Maintain.
Yeah. Well, nowadays, I mean, they go through a lot of safety drills, and so Coast Guard's kind of implemented a lot more regulations for us, which is good. It's changed the industry quite a bit, and I think it has gotten safer. What you're seeing out there is the best of the best. All these guys know what they're doing. Accidents are going to happen. Yeah. You're on a boat in the middle of nowhere, so you just got to try to do your safety drills, stay prepared, and hope for the best.
Yeah. All right, we're going to continue our conversation with Sig and Edgar Hansen, The Deadliest Catch, a new season kicking off. We'll be right back on IQ Weekly.